If there's one thing the internet has learned over the past decade, it's that Joe Rogan's podcast is a universe where anything can happen. One minute you're listening to a neuroscience explain the intricacies of human memory, and the next Elon Musk is awkwardly puffing on a joint like he's in a college dorm room. Rogan's show, The Joe Rogan Experience, known by many, has become one of the most unpredictable cultural platforms in history. It's a place where celebrities, scientists, fighters, comedians, and conspiracy theorists collide in the most unfiltered way possible. The unpredictability is exactly why so many people tune in, because you never really know where the conversation will go. Sometimes it's inspiring, sometimes it's absurd, and sometimes it's so strange you can't decide whether to laugh or question reality. Rogan's casual long-form format creates an environment where guests can open up in ways they never would on traditional media. But with that freedom comes moments that spiral completely off the rails. Whether it's awkward silences, explosive debates, or totally bizarre tangents, Rogan has given us some of the internet's most talked about clips. In this video, we're diving into the craziest moments in Joe Rogan podcast history. The times that had fans rewinding, sharing, and wondering, did that really just happen? We'll cover moments that broke the internet, pushed boundaries, and even caused backlash. Perhaps the most famous or infamous Rogan podcast moment came when Elon Musk sat down for a 3-hour chat in 2018. They talked about AI, Mars, electric cars, and the future of humanity. That kind of rhymed low-key, not gonna lie. But that's not what went viral. What went viral was the moment Rogan casually handed Musk a joint during the conversation. Musk, visibly unsure, took a slow, deliberate puff while trying to keep a straight face. The internet exploded. Stock analysis claimed Tesla shares even dipped because of the clip. Memes flooded Twitter, and news outlets worldwide covered the Elon getting high story like it was breaking global news. What made it even funnier was Musk's reaction. He didn't inhale much, but the image was just enough to spark a media storm. This moment perfectly captures why Rogan's show can be so unpredictable. No PR team could have planned this, and no traditional talk show would have allowed it. Beyond the memes, it was the strange cultural checkpoint, blending Silicon Valley seriousness with stoner podcast chaos. Even years later, that clip is still referenced whenever Musk does something eccentric. Rogan himself seemed amused at how much attention it got, joking that it was barely anything. But for fans, it became an instant legend, proof that on Rogan's podcast, anything can become a headline.
So is that a joint? Or is it a cigar?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
It's marijuana
it's
inside
weed.
of tobacco.
Oh, okay. So it's like pot tobacco
Yeah.
posh.
You never had that?
Yeah, I think I tried one once.
Come on, man. You want some of that? You probably can't because of stockholders, right?
I mean, it's legal, right?
It's totally legal.
Okay.
How does that work? Do people get upset at you if you do certain things? There's tobacco and marijuana in there. That's all it is. The combination of tobacco and marijuana is wonderful. First turned on to it by Charlie Murphy and then reignited by Dave Chappelle. There you go.
Plus whiskey.
If Joe Rogan is unpredictable, Alex Jones is a full-on hurricane. When Jones appears on the podcast, it's like turning the chaos dial to the max. His energy is relentless, his rants are wild, and the tangents are, well, let's just say they range from fascinating to did he really just say that? In his most infamous appearances, Jones has jumped from government conspiracies to the interdimensional beings to rants about chemicals turning the frogs gay. The energy between Rogan and Jones is part friendly banter, part verbal wrestling match. Rogan often tries to fact check or slow him down, but Jones barrels forward, talking faster than anyone can keep up. What makes it so gripping is that Rogan doesn't shut it down completely. He lets it run, adding jokes, questions, or skeptical eyebrow raises that make the whole exchange even funnier. These episodes became instant cult classics, with clips racking up millions of views on YouTube. For some, their evidence of why Rogan's open door policy is both brilliant and controversial. For others, they're pure entertainment gold, the kind of unhinged, unfiltered podcasting you just can't look away from. Whether you agree with Alex Jones or think he's off the deep end, you can't deny his appearances are some of the most unforgettable in Rogan's catalog. They're loud, chaotic, and absolutely meme-worthy.
I don't have to be the one that goes. I don't have to be the one that goes.
Let me tell you something right now. Let me tell you something right now. I came here and I proved they're keeping babies alive and taking their organs.
How did you prove that?
They're admitting it.
Jamie pulled some shit up on Google.
No, they admit it now.
That's
they're
you two.
They're normalizing it. No, the governor. Listen to me.
Do you really think there's people out there campaigning for late-term abortions? You think that shit's real? You think that shit's real?
Voted Monday to keep it legal.
Who would do that? Who would do that? Who would campaign for? That's
They
the most.
fucking did it,
That is
Bravo,
the craziest
and
shit
you
ever.
can't fucking admit they're fucking killing already born kids. So you're telling me it isn't real when they had a fucking vote in the goddamn fucking Senate?
That's
What
a
the
conspiracy theory.
I am ready to beat your
That's a
fucking ass.
conspiracy
You
theory.
think you're fucking tough? You're about to get it. Bullshit! They're killing already born babies. Stop fucking lying. God fucking damn it. I'm getting pissed now.
Don't get.
When Mike Tyson sat down with Joe Rogan, fans expected a wild, unpredictable ride. But what they got was even better. The first half of the conversation was surprisingly calm, with Tyson speaking in a soft, almost philosophical tone about life, discipline, and personal growth. Rogan leaned in, clearly fascinated as Tyson reflected on aging and stepping away from his aggressive past. But then the switch flipped. As soon as the topic shifted to fighting and training, Tyson's eyes lit up. His energy surged, voice rose, and suddenly it felt like Iron Mike was back in his mode. Rogan visibly tense, clearly sensing the shift in Tyson's energy. At one point, Tyson leaned forward with a grin and said something so intense it made Rogan laugh nervously. Mike Tyson told Joe Rogan that fighting aroused him. The internet ate it up. That moment where the calm, reflective Tyson transformed into the fierce, intimidating fighter of old. While many people might find that weird in itself, it definitely caught the attention of a lot of people when he said that. It just shows how quickly energy can change on Rogan's show, turning a quiet interview into a pulse-pounding exchange. Fans clipped it, of course, memed it, shared it as proof that Tyson still carries some fire that made him a legend. It was the perfect blend of introspection and raw power, and exactly why Rogan's interviews can flip in an instant.
What do you mean? But you struggle with the possibility that you could hurt them?
That is sometimes, it's orgasmic sometimes. Yeah.
Like some fights, like particularly like Tyrell Biggs, or someone that you had problems with, someone that you had animosity towards, so when you could finally get your hands on them.
Hey, what does it mean when fighting gets you erect? What does that mean?
It's a good question. It means you're getting excited.
Yeah.
So that's going through your mind right now.
Well, that's how I get when I was a kid, and sometimes I get the twinkle.
The twinkle.
Yeah.
Comedian Joey Diaz is a walking goldmine of outrageous stories, and every time he appears on Rogan's podcast, it's guaranteed chaos. Diaz tells tales with such confidence and detail that you almost forget how insane they sound. From robbing people in broad daylight to taking absurd amounts of edibles before flights, his stories straddle the line between believable and completely unbelievable. What makes Diaz's moment so iconic is that he doesn't hold back. He is raw, unfiltered, and often says things that would never make it past network censors. One particularly wild clip involves him in a conversation with Joe about using cuss words in comedy in certain places. This is one of my favorite clips, and fans love these episodes because every time I think it's just like stand-up comedy and a confession booth for Joey Diaz when he goes on the podcast. You're laughing, shaking your head, and wondering how he's still alive to tell the tale. I've watched all the, edible Coke stories, whatever he used to do. And in many ways, Joey Diaz brings out one of Rogan's best modes, the wide-eyed listener who can't believe what he's hearing. And that's why his episodes are endlessly rewatchable.
Okay? I understand me shooting your special on your network. You don't want me to use certain words. There's parts, and I get that. This is a business.
Right.
This is a business, and I got mouths to feed. But when I'm at the Comedy Store, when I'm at the Improv, when I'm at the Laugh Factory, when I'm at Flappers, when I'm at the Ha Ha, when I'm at the New York Gotham,
You got to let it fly.
I'm going to let it fly.
You got to let it fly.
Okay? And I'm sorry.
No.
This is just
this
so you know.
You
No!
shouldn't be sorry. You're not
This is
supposed
just
to
so
be
you know.
sorry.
You know what I put on yesterday?
What'd you put on
Guess what I
yesterday?
put on the studio yesterday?
What?
And this is it. This
What?
is it because it's time.
What?
We're not taking it no more. I'm not taking it no more. I put on an album, and again, I'm very sorry if I offend somebody. I didn't name it this. He did. So take your fucking problem up with him. Name of the album is Bicentennial Nigga by Richard Pryor. I put it on.
What ties all these moments together is the sheer unpredictability of Joe Rogan's show. There's no script, no rigid format, and no corporate filter. Just 2 or 3 people sitting down with microphones and letting the conversation goes wherever it goes. That's why it could go from calm, intellectual discussion to absolute madness in the blink of an eye. The Elon Musk blunt, the Alex Jones rants, the Tyson intensity, the Joey Diaz stories, they all exist because Rogan gives his guests room to be themselves. And sometimes being themselves means saying or doing things that set the internet on fire. These moments have helped Joe Rogan's podcast become not just a show, but a cultural phenomenon. People don't just watch for the topics, they watch for the possibility of something unexpected happening. Love him or hate him, Rogan has mastered the art of making every episode feel like anything could happen. And in an age where so much media feels overproduced and safe, that's a rare thing. That's why years from now, we'll still be looking back at these clips, laughing, debating, and saying, only on Joe Rogan's podcast, only on the JRE. So here's to the chaos, the madness, and the moments we'll never forget. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.